What do you think he's telling me?
Guys all good?
Yep.
All right, welcome everybody to a special Texas Roadhouse press conference. We'll be introducing our new men's basketball head coach, Kyle Tolin. First, a couple of quick announcements. The fall season's right around the corner here at UTPB. Don't miss any action by following us on all our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And by downloading the UTPB Athletics app, it's on the Google Play and iOS stores. Once I introduce Todd, there'll be a small photo op in between. He'll introduce Kyle. And at the conclusion, Kyle will be available for questions. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Director of Athletics, Todd Dooley.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great day in the Basin. Thanks for being here at the D. Kirk Edwards Family Human Performance Center. It's an exciting day, for sure. It's an exciting day for basketball. It's an exciting day for athletics, and an exciting day for the university. We're here to introduce Kyle Tolin as the 7th head coach for the basketball team here at UTPB. Kyle, Lisa, Macy, and Luke, we're excited for you all to join the Falcon family. So welcome. As this process got started, we sought out a coach who reflects the values of our athletic department as well as the values of the university. A coach who inspires our student athletes to pursue comprehensive excellence and equips them with the tools to become the best versions of themselves for years to come. A coach to recruit the best and the brightest student athletes to UT Permian Basin and help them fulfill both their athletic and academic goals. A coach of high integrity who understands what it means to connect with student athletes through the game of basketball. And a coach who understands the meaning of a championship program and knows how to build one with positive energy and a winning culture. Kyle Tolin exemplifies all of those things and more. And I couldn't be more thrilled for him to join us and our Falcon family. He's a leader of young men. He's an educator whose classroom happens to be a basketball court. And I don't want to lose sight of that. Kyle's resume speaks for itself. He's a proven winner, and we're glad he's now a Falcon. With that, I'll step out of the way and introduce Kyle Tolin. Thank you. You guys good? All right, Kyle, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I know several people have got lots of things going on. I know that, and I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. Appreciate you guys taking time to do this. So, several people I want to thank. Start with, first of all, I want to thank Dr. Woodley, president of the university, for giving me the opportunity to come here. Obviously, Todd Dooley. As we started talking, it became pretty apparent like his vision and my vision aligned. I mean, he's somebody you want to work with. The culture he's set here. Couldn't be more proud and happy to be part of the Falcon family. Obviously, my family, I'll introduce them in a second, but with the timing of it and leaving a job midterm with them being all on board and ready to go and ready to move here and excited about it, again, I'm thankful for them and appreciative of that. Several people are instrumental in helping me with this job. Bryn Baker, as the athletic director at North Texas. Will Reese, I want to make sure I thank him. He was huge in helping me with this as well. Lewis Preston and Brian Sanchek. And then Dr. Carla Hughes was a former chancellor at the University of Arkansas Monticello. There was a connection here, and she was a mentor and helped guide and help elevate our program to another level. I was taught early on, it's who you work for. That's the success of your job, is who you work for. So I was blessed to work under her leadership and obviously excited about coming here. There's several people that I'd like to introduce. I know Todd mentioned my family. First, I want to introduce my wife, Lisa. Lisa's sitting there in the back. She can raise her hand right there. That would be great. So, again, I'm so appreciative of her being willing to get up and move from Monticello, Arkansas to Odessa, Texas. Within a 5-day span, basically, this happened, and she's on board and ready to go. They're sacrificing so much to be here. And again, I'm very appreciative of that. I'll talk a little bit kind of about Lisa here, and then others. So I think a lot of people are born to do things, and Lisa, she was born to be a mom. When you guys get to know her and see how she is with our kids and interacts with people, she's a very special person. The community's going to love her. She'll be involved. She will help. I think that leaving Monticello, there's way more people mad at me, not because I left the program. I think they're more mad because Lisa came here. So obviously I think that speaks volume. And again, I know she's excited too. I've got 2 kiddos. Macy is our oldest. Macy, if you'll raise your hand back there. Macy is 12 years old. It's funny, as I was down here last week and I had dinner with Coach Kerrigan, the football coach, he was great, but he said something about it's a good thing I had a daughter first. And I thought, I am too. We deal with these guys all day long, and they may be mad at you, and you have somebody at home who actually likes you. And it may not be your wife, so it's a good thing we have daughters that like us. So she's a good soccer player, she's a good basketball player, she's sweet, she's got her mother's personality. We're talking about moving, and she's, hey, this is a great opportunity. Let's do this, is excited about it, so I'm very appreciative of her. Luke, can you raise your hand back there? Luke is 9 years old. Luke is going to be a 3rd grader. Macy's going to be a 6th grader, by the way. So Luke, again, he likes to play sports and is smart. Let me tell you a little about Luke here. So as Todd and I had our very first conversation, Todd talked about how competitive he was. He wants competitive people, which is good. That aligns with me. He talked about talking to teams before and walking in and asking teams, who's the most competitive person in here? And he said, hey, I want you to say you are. Well, we don't have to worry about that with Luke. Because if you've ever met anybody who's never lost, Luke has never lost anything he's ever done. In fact, we got in the gym yesterday, and he's shooting. He walks in and puts the ball in the locker room, and I'm standing there, and he says, just beat Grandpa, 21-1. He's not very good anymore. So anyway, we're fired up to be here. You guys will enjoy being around Luke as well. And again, I think that's the cool thing is our family's really involved. They're involved with our guys, our players. We've got players over at the house, and they kind of like big brothers to our kids, and really kind of take it in our family, and we've done the same thing. We hope to continue that here as well. Let me introduce a couple other people right here. My parents are here. My dad, Doug Tolin, and Susan Tolin, they're back there if they could raise their hands. So let me talk about that a little bit. So my mom is an angel. She was married to a coach over 40 years. So you can imagine how that goes. And she was a middle school teacher on top of that. So double there. And she's raising 3 kids. And it's funny because I've been told before, hey, you work too hard. And a lot of it's, and I told somebody who said that, well, you can blame my parents. Because that's what they instilled in me. I never saw my mom miss work. I never saw my dad miss work. They showed up every day and they did the best they could and they raised the kids the right way. And again, I'm very appreciative of them making the trek down here from Oklahoma and being here today. You will see them around. I got a chance to meet Ted last week, and I've got another advocate now to yell at the officials with you. She will be more than happy to jump in on that. So again, we're excited, and I'm glad my mom was here. My dad, Doug Tolin. So my dad's a former basketball coach. He's won over 740 games. He's in 7 Hall of Fames. He's won a national championship. And again, so I'm blessed not only to have a father who was a role model, who was around, who raised us, who was good for us, but also somebody who taught us how to lead a program, how to treat people, how to lead student athletes. So I'm blessed with that. I do have to tell a story real quick. I'm off to a better start on this job than I was my last job. So my last job was my first job as a head coach 7 years ago. Obviously, you're excited. There's a million things you're going to do. Day one, I'm going to tackle every one of them. I mean, I'd fired up, so I walk in the office. I'm working. Somebody walks in my office, and they said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Kyle Tolin. I'm the new head men's basketball coach." And he goes, "Oh, we were hoping we were going to get the national champion." He pointed a picture at my dad. So no one's done that to me yet, so I'm excited about that. So I learned a lesson. There's no pictures of my dad in the office right now. They won't come in for another couple of weeks. I also want to introduce a good friend of mine, somebody who I've worked with, and I appreciate being here. Chris Johnson. Chris, if you could raise your hand back there. Okay, Chris was the associate head coach at UAM with me over the last 3 years. I think when you recruit student athletes, if you can find somebody who's selfless, that cares about others, who's a team guy, who's loyal, who shows up and works hard every day, like that's Chris to a T. I mean, what he does for our student athletes, the relationship he builds not only with our players, but the people on campus, what he does on a daily basis is unbelievable. I don't want to say too much because there may be people watching trying to steal him away because of how good he is, because he can do graphic stuff. Again, he's unbelievable, and again, I'm very appreciative. I would not be in this spot right now if it wasn't for Chris Johnson. There's no doubt about it. And again, the relationship that we've had, the friendship we've built, and again, the way that he's cared for our guys and helped elevate our program to another level has been second to none, and I'm very appreciative about Chris doing that. He was huge last year. Our team won a conference championship regular season, won the conference tournament for the first time in school history last year, and went to the NCAA tournament. And again, had Chris not been on that staff, there's no way we would have been able to accomplish that. So very appreciative of Chris. Glad Chris is here as well, and I hope you guys get a chance to meet him as well. Let me kind of talk a little bit about our core values, what our programs are going to be built on. So after my second year, I remember thinking, can I coach? Do I know what I'm doing? And I remember having a long conversation with my dad. He said, what do you believe? What's important in your program? What do you hang your hat on every day? And we started talking more and more, and he said, you know, look at successful coaches. So I started looking at Tony Bennett, Virginia, and Brad Stevens, who's been at Butler, and in the Boston Celtics, and Nick Saban. And so we start all putting all together and stuff, and I start reading about what's important in their program. So I kind of found, hey, well, I want this foundation. I want our program to be known for these things right here. I want our guys to instill these core values every day. So that's kind of how we came up with the core values. Let me talk a little bit about the core values. The first one's humility. I think this is the number one deal. If you've got people who are humble about the way they come in and work every day, I think that's huge. We want guys to have a chip on their shoulder. I want there to be some moxie about the way they play and about who they are and about their goals and things. But I also think that there's got to be some humbleness about themselves. You know, handling success is hard. It's almost harder to stay up there than it is to just jump in. And I think that's got to be an important piece. In fact, that was going to be our number one deal at UAM next year was, hey, we were pretty good. We've got to come in with the humble working like we did last year, like you have something to prove. So I think that's the first thing. And again, hey, I think all of us, coaches, players, managers, everybody's got to be humble with the way they come to work every day. You know, as far as being humble, I mean, obviously I've got a great example of being humble. So I'm starting to all of a sudden get the program going. We win some games. You feel pretty good about things. Gone to the NCAA tournament. Hey, I think I kind of got this down and feel pretty good about it. And again, I think it's something that needs to be said. So my wife, Lisa, this is going to embarrass her. She hadn't moved here yet, so I probably shouldn't say it. But she's inducted to the Hall of Fame at the University of Central Oklahoma. She played soccer there, and she was inducted to the UCO Athletic Hall of Fame. She played in the Lone Star, and she was inducted a couple years ago. So obviously that's a great deal. So how does that work into humbleness? Well, you know, we start getting going, and every day I hear from my son, Mom's a better athlete than you. She's in the Hall of Fame and you're not. So again, that's something that we've got to work through every day. But again, humility is kind of the first thing within our program. Passion. I think you can't be lukewarm with what you're doing. We want guys who are all in and going to be excited about this. I mean, you look at these facilities and this building, it is unbelievable. You look at the support of the university. You look at the resources that are here. I mean, you've got to have a passion for coming in every day. We tell recruits all the time that, hey, if you're not all in, you're not all into what's going on, if you're not passionate about it, we can't help you get to where you want to go as far as an individual, and we can't help our team get to where they want to go as well. So we want guys who are passionate about being here. I hope you can tell today, hey, I'm passionate about being here. I wasn't going to leave for just anything. I was going to leave for something I felt good about, that I'm passionate, that I feel like I can come in here and build on what's gone on here before. So again, we want people that are humility, and again, people that are passionate. You know, that's the other thing with passion is if you're working hard, you're showing up every day, and you're being disciplined, that gives you a chance to be successful. I watched a little bit of football practices. I got here early this morning. You could tell those guys are passionate. The coaches are passionate. They align kind of with our vision. I hope we can do the same thing that the football program's doing as well. The third one is thankfulness, and I think that's a big one. If you're thankful for the opportunity, if you're thankful for the opportunity to be at a great institution, in a great culture, with great facilities, I think that's huge. I know for myself, and I know Chris Sopris would probably echo me. I mean, walking into a situation like this, where there is a great culture set and there are great facilities and there are some resources, I'm thankful. It's one of those deals where, you know, I've been at places before that had some resources, and I've been at places before that haven't. So it makes you really appreciate. I hope that our student athletes walk in here and are thankful for the chance and the opportunity to be here, because I know that I am, and I know that will be preached to them all the time. So that's kind of the third one, is thankfulness. The fourth one is unity. Obviously, I'm big on leadership. You know, it's really not about the basketball. I mean, coaches understand that. You can go get the most talented people in America, but if you can't get them on the same page and be united, your team's just not going to be very good. So obviously, that's got to be a deal. We're all sacrificing. I mean, my family's moving here. We've got assistants coming in that we're going to hire. We've got student athletes that are back from last year. We've got guys who have been recruited that are staying here. We've got more guys coming in here. We're all sacrificing to be here. We've got to make sure we're unified in this deal. You know, and again, hey, part of that's being unified is playing hard and buying into your role, caring about the team, caring about this university. I think that all goes into being unified. COVID, we all dealt with COVID last year. And everybody kind of looked at it as negative, and it was in a lot of ways. But for our program last year, I thought it became a positive deal with the unity part. And you're talking about with COVID, you had to sacrifice. All our guys had to sacrifice. They had to wear masks. They had to bubble up. They had to stay away from people. We got tested, it seemed like every other day. You know, you had to stay away from people. They had to put their social life on the back burner. So there were things like that. And again, I thought that helped with unity. Again, I hope we work hard on that. I've thought a lot about it. I've tried to figure out how am I going to get everybody on the same page, building chemistry, how I need to coach, how I need to handle guys. And again, I think that's going to be a big part just of our program year one, but going forward is making sure that we are unified. You know, we tell our guys all the time, man, there's nothing greater than being on a team at all. And there's nothing greater than being on a team. And again, we're trying to instill those qualities in them to where they're tough and they're disciplined, because those teams are the ones that always win. But again, appreciative of chance to being on a team. I was fortunate to play college basketball. I was fortunate enough to coach a lot of guys. The coolest thing about taking over a new job, I think, is hearing from all the former players that I coached and teammates I played with back in 2004, texting and calling and things like that. So hopefully we're building that kind of deal here as well. The other thing with unity, and we you know, our guys obviously don't play a lot of golf. I'm a golfer. I like golf, so I kind of related to the fact of Alexander Shoffley wins the Olympic gold medal, and he kind of gives it one of these, and that's it. Well, the Ryder Cup's coming up in about a month. Watch those teams cheer for each other. I mean, there's just something cool about being on a team. There's something cool about your teammate doing well. There's something cool about winning. There's something cool about that. So again, we're going to work hard on trying to make sure our guys are unified and excited about that. And then the fifth core value is servanthood, leadership. Again, I'm big on leadership. If you care about people and you're trying to help people, and to be honest with you, that was the biggest thing when I walked in here to this community. It was like there were people here that took time out of their schedules that I met in the community, coaches that I met that took time. It was like, these people are servanthood leaders right here. I mentioned Chris earlier. He's as good an example as I've ever seen. He doesn't want any credit, but he's always doing something to help somebody else. If you've got that mentality, boy, you've got a chance to have a special team. So again, that's kind of one of our core values. I mean, we try to preach that. We try to make sure that our guys buy into that. And again, we've had success with guys that have bought into that, and obviously that's led us to have a chance to have some good basketball teams. Kind of to close here, again, hey, I'm excited about the opportunity. I appreciate Todd. Really do, coming here. I mean, I think for me, that's a big deal. It's who's your AD, who you're going to work for every day, what do they believe, how does it align within the university, and again, everything he said and his vision, I couldn't be more fired up to be here and do that. I can't wait to get started. There's a lot of good coaches here. I know that I'll be picking their brains and excited about watching your teams compete and play. My family will be around at games. We'll be around at games. Our student athletes will be at games. We're excited to be entrenched in the UTPB community and getting to know everybody as well. We'll work hard, I can tell you that. I can promise you we're going to work hard. We're going to work our tails off every day. Again, that's kind of what's insisted in us and our guys, the way they played. I hope they play hard when you come watch them. Those guys play hard. They really guard. They move the ball, and that you can tell that they buy into those core values. And then, hey, we're going to have fun. I mean, there's 2 duck ponds out there, and I'm not opposed to jumping in it after a big win next year. I mean, we had a big one at UAM, and I jumped in it after we beat the top 10 team one day. I mean, we'll have a lot of fun, and hopefully our guys carry that, and we'll have good energy as far as the program goes. Again, I thank you guys. I thank everybody who being here. Thank for my family that was able to attend today, and again, couldn't be more excited about being here. Thank you guys.
Any questions?
You guys got any questions? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Sorry, I know you're gonna stay up here. All right, cool. All right, Coach. The first question I had for you is basically, with all the success at the last university, what was so attracting to here specifically at UTPB?
I think you can do special things here. I really do. I mean, I think that the culture, I think that was big for me, was the culture. I think the resources, I mean, obviously look at this room and the facilities, that was big. I felt like this is a place you can win at a high level. We've won at a pretty good level. I think you can take it up a notch if we get the right student athletes in here, you get the right staff in place and things like that. We felt like we had a good team, and that was hard coming back. I mean, we had everybody back from a team that was 21st in the country last year. But when you think of long term, I think we can do bigger things than just, hey, we'll win the NCAA tournament. Like, hey, let's move the needle now, and try to build on. Josh obviously did a great job. The history of this program has been really good. It continues to get better, and that's our goal. Is, hey, let's come in here and work and try to make this thing better.
You were talking about the recruiting pitch for this school. I know each school has its unique characteristics you can sell. What do you think are some attributes of this program, this school, that unique to this school?
Yeah, I mean, I think facilities and things like that sell itself. I think the people. I think kids, when they feel comfortable, not only with the coaching staff, but with people, and there's genuine people that care about them as student athletes, I think that's going to be a huge pitch. Obviously, I haven't dove in the ins and outs. That's where I'll kind of lean on the coaches that are here. Hey, what works and what doesn't work? I mean, I think after being somewhere for 7 years, you have an idea of, hey, here's how I want to recruit, and sometimes it changes, and you've got to be flexible and be able to adapt where you're at. So I will be willing to do that. I think this place sells itself. And I think the other deal is, when you have programs that are successful, that like there are here, boy, everybody can be successful with that. And again, that's part of the appeal here. Is there's been a lot of people that have been successful and a lot of good coaches, and again, hopefully we can carry on the tradition of that.
Hey Kyle, Jacob Brandenburg with CBS 7. Welcome to West Texas.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
From a basketball standpoint, what's kind of your style and what can we expect from your team?
So, I mean, we try to play as fast as we can. I mean, we're into great shots, not good shots. So I think that's the first thing. We run secondary break. I don't know how familiar you guys are with that, but it's North Carolina based. My dad's first job was with Joe Holliday, who was the top assistant at Kansas and North Carolina. So a lot of what we do is secondary break, and then it flows into our passing game. I want the ball moving. I think that's the thing. Hopefully you guys will see we make extra passes, we move the ball, we try to get the defense shifted side to side. It allows that to break down. And then I've told all the recruits that we've talked to, the quickest way to turn a program around is by defending. If we can get these guys to buy into the defensive end and recruit good athletes, then we can get this thing going pretty quick. That's year 2 at Monticello to year 3. The biggest turnaround was we had guys who bought in, really wanted to be there, and then that would go guard. So again, I think that's going to be a huge emphasis. I hope people they're sitting down in the stands, they've got guys guard and bought into that end. Hopefully we got some guys that'll buy into that. I think we've got some guys coming, and I know they're bought into that. So we spend a lot of time with that. And again, hey, that's going to be the quickest way to get our program going, is if we can get down and guard.
And Kyle, just on that note too, I know you're coming in a little bit later in the off season. When you're trying to kind of implement your system, kind of implement your own way of doing things, I guess what's the most important thing for you to kind of focus on at first, especially when you don't have as full of an off season as
right. So yeah, I mean, it makes it hard because again, our guys were all there during the summer, and we talked about, hey, what did you get better at? What did you get better at? And they asked me, what did you get better, Coach? And I said, patience. So that's the number one thing, is going to have to be patient here and understand that when you're teaching them, they don't know. I mean, you've got to act like they've never been taught because everybody's got different philosophies. So I think that's the thing, and then try to get them sped up as quick as you can. It makes it hard, at least on the schedule. In game one, like I was going to play at Monticello, we were going to play Northwest Missouri, who's the #1 ranked team in the country, who's won 4 of the last 5 matches. At least I'm not playing them, so I don't have to speed it up quite as quick as normally. So, but as far as that, just being patient and understanding, I'm going to hire great people that work with me. That'll really be helpful in that area as well. Yeah.
You mentioned your staff. Is Chris coming along with you?
Well, yeah, we're in the process of trying to make that happen. So obviously that was kind of a big thing for me was, okay, if I make a transition, with it being as late as it is, and having the relationship I do with my kids, yeah, I've got to make sure that so obviously that was kind of priority one, was to making sure that he was going to be able to come here and be here with me. And again, the athletic department and everyone will, not only is the basketball program going to benefit, but this university will benefit as well. Yeah.
And Coach, I'm not sure how much things have changed, but just coming into the program, do you have an idea of the guys who are here, of like how many guys you may need to bring in, or how much of the roster you'll
So
have?
yeah, I mean, we've talked to every one of them. So I've talked to every one of them. There were a few that chose not to before I even got the job and said, hey, I'm done and I'm going to wherever else by the time I got the job. So there were several of them, young kids we were able to keep around, which is a good deal. There were some guys that were instrumental in the success of last year's team that are going to be able to be around. So, but we're going to have to bring several guys in as well to help these guys. And again, that's going to be our job is, hey, let's make sure we're all on the same page here. It's not that you're the guy, hey, we're all in this, we're all Falcons together. So let's try to be as good as we can be.
So I guess just piggybacking off of that, obviously with the school year about to start, I guess like what's that process like for you over the next few weeks or so to try to bring these guys in?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you're trying to get them admitted, and we've got great admissions people that are here right now. I've just met, so he's going to help us get them in quickly, which is awesome. So get those guys, get them signed, get them admitted, get them enrolled. Let's figure out exactly how many hours to graduate. Make sure that obviously that's a huge deal within our program. I almost meet with them more about academic stuff than I do about basketball, trying to help them be successful. So. So that obviously is a process. I spent all morning and all day yesterday, and the last 5 days it seemed like on the phone. So again, I'm just excited about getting here and getting this thing going and get everything in where we can start concentrating on basketball.
And Coach, I just wanted to ask you, in the sense of with these new guys or the guys that's already been here, as a coach, the player-coach relationship is pretty important, especially for basketball. So getting in here and getting to the guys and that practice, how do you hope you can build that relationship in these
Yeah,
first
I mean,
couple
it's
weeks?
spend a lot of time. Again, we both have a trust level. We both came here. We thought this place was special. Whether they've been here or they're coming here, we all saw something special in this place, coaching staff included. So we're all on the same page as that goes. But as far as we got to spend a lot of time, we've got to build trust. We demand a lot of our guys. I mean, we demand excellence out of them every day. I mean, they're going to sign in for class. They're going to go to class. They're going to put up extra shots. They're going to do workouts. They're going to eat right. They're going to work hard in the weight room. I mean, you don't do those things, then hey, that's not the standard of this university and this athletic program. So again, but it's going to be building trust, spending a lot of time getting to know them one-on-one. That's the hardest thing about leaving a place where you've got the culture set. You've been there 7 years, and you don't feel like you have to. I mean, I understand. I've got relationships. I know these kids' parents. I'm gonna have to work hard on that as well when I get here.
Anything else? You got anything for me?
Nah, you good, man.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
all.
Yeah.
We're going to have refreshments. Casey, what room is it on the other? 1208. 1208 on the other end of the building. So please join us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Tony, this is Tony from the OA,
Okay.
the newspaper guy.